Yeah, obviously, don't feel any different. I felt such a great team win. Tons of guys contributing, went through a lot. Going on the road against Northern, who's playing really, really, really good defense, held all their opponents down. Obviously, they had not been playing as well on offense, but we know they can really run the football, which they obviously showed the first play of the game. So Kenny got nicked up during the week. We didn't know that Kenny would be able to go. Ringer got hurt in pregame, which is very rare somebody gets hurt in pregame, and then he didn't even dress. And then bad start. We have a chance for a big play on the first drive, and we screw up on offense, and we don't get it. And then they go 77 on one play, and then we go 3 and out, and then they go right down the field 65 yards, and we're down 14-0. Lose Uke, lose our right guard. Our center's already out, so now you're down to your third tailback, your second center, your second right guard, and you're down 14-0 on the road, and really nothing's going good on either side of the ball. And again, we're starting to grow up as a team. We just kind of kept plugging away. Offense puts together a good drive. We hit Cam on a big one to set up a score, and we punch it in and kind of calm everything down. And then defense holds them to 84 yards. At that point, I think we were outgained 130-something to like 39. And at the end of the first quarter and down 14-0, and a bunch of guys out hurt. And then we lose Nasir, who's our main inside guy on defense against a run team. And I think we outgained them like 330 to 80 the rest of the game. The last 3 quarters, we obviously moved the ball for 330 yards against them in 3 quarters is really good, and hold them to 84 yards in 3 quarters is really good. And like I said, the amount of guys, we stuffed the run. Our D-line started playing north and south. Our backers were playing north-south. We started fitting the run. They couldn't run it. We knew if we got them into those longer yard situations, we were going to have an advantage, which we did, and we did a good job getting off the field on defense. And then offensively, strung together enough. Got some decent big plays in the pass game. Got some hard runs. We grinded 50 carries, so some of them were quarterback scrambles, but you probably had 40 plus carries for about a 4-yard average, and a lot of hard runs. Brunson obviously stepped in and did a great job. Hasn't really played all year, and next thing you know, he's getting 20 carries, and he's the main feature back. You guys talked to Brian. Brian stepped in and did some tailback stuff for us on third down. DeShante's our fourth tailback, stepped in and got us some really hard yards and short yardage then end of the game when we were trying to run the clock out. Special teams, we block a punt for 2 points. We've scored points on special teams 3 weeks in a row. I said, I can't remember ever doing it 2 weeks in a row. It's probably happened in my career. I can't remember a lot of things at this point in my life, but I know we never did it 3 weeks in a row. And we probably have never done it 2. I can't recall a time when we scored on ST 2 weeks in a row. Maybe we did at some point, but I know so scoring points 3 weeks in a row. Obviously, Kellen was fantastic again. Dom was great again, and making big kips and keep extending the lead, and then obviously icing it at the end. Lionel did a really good job on punt return and saving a few yards, getting balls caught. So, we feel we always have a goal of winning fourth down and winning those plays, and we certainly did that. And then, like I said, defense was dominant the last 3 quarters, and offense played pretty darn good the last 3 quarters too. So, overcame a lot, and it wasn't one guy with 15 tackles or 3 picks or 4 sacks or 400. It was just a lot of guys playing good, solid football and hanging in there together and getting a great road win.
It seems like in the last 5 years or so, almost every time you guys have needed a big play on special teams to kind of spur up momentum, you guys have gotten it. Are you guys saying anything to your ST units specifically before they go out and make a big play like that, or is that just something you try to do every time you run your punt block unit up?
Yeah, I think it's a whole team mentality. Obviously, Johnny's first year doing ST has done a good job, scheming some things up, whether it be a kickoff return, whether it be a punt rush, trying to put our kids in good. But it's more of just a team mentality, and tons of credit. We've had really good ST coordinators here, and tons of credit goes to those guys. And Johnny's kind of stepping in some big shoes to fill. And wasn't an ST guy before I hired him. He worked for me before, but super smart young coach that I really believed in and just wanted to get on my staff. And then he did a lot of work this offseason to get ready for, it was but I just knew he was smart and he was really hardworking. He's a great person. He fit everything we try to be. But really, it comes down to Coach Breeken and Coach Welsh, to be honest with you. Like, I try to tell everybody, like, the reason we're going to special teams, we have really good players, so why would we not be good on, like, if we can be good on offense, defense, why can't you be good on, like, because kids don't want to play it. Kids don't come to Miami to play ST, but Coach Breeken and Coach Welsh set the tempo for our offensive guys. That's how you have a Cam Perry rushing and blocking punts, because we talk about every day. And not we meaning the ST guy, and not we meaning the head coach, because Coach Welsh sets it, and then Coach Cruz and Coach Patton and Coach Hudson and Coach Wright, like, they go in their individual meetings to talk about how, and pushing their kid, like, what are you doing on special teams? Like, it's a priority for our coordinators. And then they both coach them. Like, there's a lot of staffs that the coordinators you never see a coordinator come ST time. If you come to our practice, Coach Welsh and Coach Breeken are coaching on every ST. And when you get a new ST coordinator and you tell them that the offense coordinator is going to coach an ST, looks at you like, I've never seen the offense coordinator. Like, well, then you get, it goes, everything goes through us. Like, so Coach Breeken the same way, coaches on all of them. And they're amazing coaches on them, but they push their kids and challenge their kids to be great. And it's like we say, when we kick the ball off, what is it? It's just a defensive play. Like, as soon as Kellen kicks it, there's one of their best players of the ball. Why would we not want our best players out there running and try to tackle them? That's what we do on defense. When they kick it to Lionel or to Keith on kickoff or punt, well, it's just an offense play. When you guys don't go block, like, it's no different. Like, and our kids have bought in that mentality mostly because our ST coordinators have done a great job getting our kids excited to play and spending extra time with our kids, but mostly because of Coach Breeken and Coach Welsh make sure that everybody on our offense defense cannot wait for fourth down. Like, fourth down is a golden opportunity. And I say, if we play better players than they play, and our kids want to be on the field more, well, that's our biggest advantage in the game is fourth down, because a lot of their kids don't want to play fourth down. Our kids want to play fourth down. We have starters that we don't play that every week are asked, the Cy and the Hondrus are asking, hey, let me be on kickoff line. And they're backups now because we're trying to preserve them, and we have young guys that can do the job just like they can. So, but the mentality for us is that we can win the game on fourth down. Again, the two championships we've won in recent years, we don't win them without our ST play. Not only that whole season, but within that game. Like, so our kids know, like, we can win you don't have to win on offense, defense. There's going to be X amount of fourth down plays or kickoff returns. We call them all fourth down plays in our mind, but why can't you? It's just a football play. There's 150 snaps a game. If Keith Reynolds rips a kickoff for a touchdown, it's no different than having a great offensive play. If you block a punt for a touchdown, it's no different than having a great offensive play. So this is just another opportunity for you to win or lose a game, and it could go the other way too. We had at UNLV, we had some bad plays that, we had some great plays on ST in that game, but we had some bad plays that cost us in key situations that set up UNLV.
When your offense is going back out down 14-0, what is kind of the feel like on the sideline, and was there a moment where you sensed that shift at all?
When they scored, the first thing I thought is, we just might not be very good this year. I literally thought that, like, maybe we just stink. Maybe we're not a very good team. The stuff that runs through your head, like, especially if you're ADD with me, a lot of stuff runs through my head. But the nice thing is, we had talked, like, we're gonna at some point we have to grow up and not panic when things don't go our way. Offense against Wisconsin got really on tilt. Like, they were getting after us, and we just got back on our heels, and we were just like, second half, even though it was 3-0, it felt like it was 30-0 because it didn't feel like we were ever going to get a first down, let alone score. And I'm sure everybody watching felt the same. But that was our energy, And then defensively against UNLV, it was the same thing. We were rolling along, having a great game, and then they started coming at us. And then you watch the second half, if you're watching, it's like, we're never going to stop them. Like, our guys, not because we couldn't, because where we were at mentally. So we've been trying to get these kids to continue to mature, and it takes game experiences. And then our sideline Saturday was 14-0. Our kids were the coaches weren't saying, come on, all our kids say, hey, let's keep playing. Like, hey, let's go get a score. Let's go. Defense saying, hey, let's get our eyes right. Let's get a stop. Let's play with our fundamentals. We know we can stop these guys. It's not. So, again, you go through those experiences. We've been talking about it since week one. Like, we have to learn from those, and we are. And we just handled it good. And then offensively, obviously, we needed a spark, and Cam makes the big play. DQ hits Cam, and that kind of that was the play. Cam got behind him. We hit him. We get down there. Then it was 14-7. It felt totally different, even though we were still down. And then we just kind of rolled from there.
Just because that's what you preach about. Just keep playing. Just keep playing. How proud are you when you actually they listen and and you do respond that way.
Yeah, and again, it's just you're proud when they can learn from their own experiences. It's awesome. Like they should, but sometimes you don't, but our guys are growing up like I said, our kids really like each other. They really like to have fun. They really like to play football. They don't necessarily really want to, I don't know how to say, like prepare. Like they'd like to be great without, like just by going to have practice, having a great time and enjoying each other. Like we're starting to learn that there's a balance between just enjoying each other, having fun, which is who they are. So I don't want to change who they are, but the focus. And they're realizing when we're focused, we're pretty good. And when we're not focused, like you look at the first drive, okay, it's one play. Second drive is a disaster. If you watch that defense that we go through, it's bad defense because guys aren't doing, we got really bad eyes. We keep cutting guys loose, that we have guys responsible for. They hit a fallout, they hit a launch play. Like we got guys responsible. Then we settle down, we get our eyes right, and everybody starts doing their job and not trying to do too much and not trying to guess, and all of a sudden, it works really good. So now we have good tape and bad tape both ways on every team, OD and special teams, that, hey, this is a kickoff return that we did it right. And they're starting to figure out, well, yes, we can be you've been saying we can be really good, but we haven't been really good. But we're still a long way in our evolution, but we're heading in the right direction.
You think about Northern Illinois, and usually you think about, a lot of ground and pound
Yeah.
and the run game and everything. They come out, they've got Davidson at quarterback, and then they after the first long run, they start throwing the ball quite a bit and everything. Did that, sort of go against the planning, the game plan that you had defensively coming in?
Yeah, they probably threw it a little more on that first or second drive, whatever But at the end of the day, we knew they would have to run the ball. That's who they are. They're going to have to run the ball. They run a lot of play actions off their runs, so without getting there, and then they're really good at when Northern Illinois is on, they're ahead of the chains. Like they're on a lot of 3rd and 4 or less where they can still run pass option. Yeah, so yeah, they did throw it a little bit more early, but then when they settled in, they had to get their run game going, and then we didn't let them get the run game going. We didn't get them in those 3rd and manageables. They didn't have run pass options on 3rd down. They were forced to go the air more than they wanted to for the rest of the game, for sure, because they couldn't run the ball. So, yeah, maybe they surprised us a little bit early with the, second drive, threw the ball around. But we still, and again, we still have guys responsible for the guys that were running wide open. It wasn't like, still got to do your job whether they run or pass. So,
Really close game at the half. How big was that first 5 minutes of the second half?
yeah, obviously defense set the tone, and we felt good because everybody, it's like, what'd you tell them at halftime? I don't know. We had dominated the second quarter after a bad first quarter, and we had we got a really nice stop before the half. We got a really nice drive. We had no timeouts left and not a lot of time, and if we don't have a drop, we're in easy field goal range. And then we had a longer field goal attempt, so even that, the 2-minute was good. Like, there's a lot of good things there. We missed a field goal, but it's still a good end of the half because defense got off the field. We got field position on the punt. We go quickly down the field, miss a long field goal, which he struck really good. It was a really good kick. It's just hard to make 50-some yarders. But then the defense, again, sets the tone. They get the pick on the first play, get a deflected ball, side deflects it. Coy picks it, and then, again, just they had the ball. We had the momentum. So if they can drive down and get some going, they can reestablish or even go up 2 scores at that point because it was 14-10 or 14-13 at that point. Right. And so then we get we don't do anything on offense, but it started the whole sequence. We got the pick. We do kick the field goal. That field goal made it 14-13. So we kick the field goal. We get another stop, but we move them back and get them, and then we block the punt 15-14. Then they kick it out of bounds. Then we score a touchdown, and very quickly things. But it all starts with the size batted ball, and Coy's pick was the key, getting things going our way in that second half.
And it's Monday morning, but have you had a chance to look at Akron, some of the challenges they give you?
Yeah, they're first are really well coached. Like Coach Moore and his staff, since they've been here, they've done a good job, and they've been getting better and better and better. And finally, like towards the end of last year, it started to show. They beat Toledo in a really hard-fought victory, and so you beat one of the league's heavyweights. You know you're capable. So they already have a good win. They're already 1-1 this year, so they already have a good win against Central Michigan. Central came in playing good football and was favored, but Akron beat them pretty soundly. It was 28-10 at one point. So really well coached on both sides of the ball. Coach Moore is obviously well-known offensive coordinator, one of the top. He's had big-time jobs as head coaches, big-time jobs offensive coordinator, and they've always been very difficult to defend on offense structure. They got an experienced quarterback, which is hard to find, and he's been in their system, and he knows what he's doing. Defensively, they're really, really, really aggressive and active up front, and they play a lot of guys, and they have a lot of twitchy athletes, and they've been hard to run the ball on for a while, not just this year. So they just keep getting better and better, and they got a good coach, and they come in, and he's building it, and slowly but surely, and they're getting better and better. And like I said, they're 1-1 in the league right now, and they look like a really solid MAC football team that's going to be hard to beat every week. Like I don't know anybody's going to really want to play Akron this year, and but they're getting better and better, and they're doing a good job.
You look at the results from the MAC results from the weekend, and it kind of reinforces what you said last week. On a given week, anybody can beat anybody, and road wins are particularly hard to come by.
Yeah. No, obviously UMass is new to the league, and Western got them. But I said besides if UMass wasn't in the league, there'd be one road win. We'd have had the only road win. All the other home teams won, and again, that's always been the way. It's always been hard to win at home. I mean, it's in every league, but particularly in an even league like our league, then traveling and why did we get off to a bad start? I don't know. You never know why. Does it have to do with travel? It's harder. Everything's harder on the road. So, and it showed this week that, not only that the home teams won most of the game, but just how many close games are in our league, and it's, teams have 14-point leads, other teams come back. The team's very even. The budgets are very even. You don't have where you have the Ohio State, Michigan budgets, and then you have the Purdue and Northwestern budget. So you don't have within the league that we don't have. There's not that huge disparity, so that with that, then there's not huge talent gap. And that's why there's so many different teams have won this league, and it's so hard to win this league, and that's what makes this league so exciting and so much fun to be a part of.